Summary of The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. The narrator talks about how England looked at the time of the story. Ogres lived in the woods, and there were not many castles. Axel and Beatrice are an older British couple who live together in a communal warren dug into a hillside near a bog in the countryside. They live alone in one of the back rooms, far away from the communal fire, and are not allowed to have candles. Axel is awake and happy about a choice he just made, but he doesn't want to tell Beatrice about it until she wakes up. As he waits, Axel thinks about their lives in the warren and wonders if they have always been pushed to the back corners of society and treated badly. Axel thinks about a problem that everyone seems to have: they forget things they should remember, like their own children or people who used to live near them. When Beatrice finally wakes up, Axel tells her that he has decided they should travel to their son's town. They haven't seen their son in a long time, and they can't even remember his name or why he left. Still, they are sure that he is waiting for them and that when they get to his village, they will be able to live with him. Beatrice agrees, and after telling the priest about their plan, they go on their trip alone. Parts of the English countryside are dangerous to walk through because monsters still live there, so Beatrice often asks Axel, who walks behind her, if he's still there. When it starts to rain, they go into an empty house to stay dry. Inside, they meet a man who works on boats and an old woman who is about to kill a rabbit. The boatman hates the woman because she has been bothering him ever since he took her husband across the river to an island and left her behind. People can live there in peace for the rest of their lives, but if they go alone, they might never see anyone else, not even their loved ones. The boatman said that only couples who are truly in love and whose relationship isn't marked by anger, bitterness, or indifference can go there together. When the boatman tells the old woman to look into her heart and decide if her love for her husband was really strong enough for them to be taken to the island together, she refuses to answer him. Beatrice is especially interested in this idea, and she wants to go there with Axel one day after they see their son. When it stops raining, Axel and Beatrice get out of the boat and keep going until they reach a Saxon town where Beatrice often trades. Not only are they going to spend the night in the town, but Beatrice also wants to see a medicine woman who might be able to help her with a pain in her side. When they get there, though, the people are on edge because ogres have taken a young boy named Edwin. Beatrice and Axel look at and listen to the commotion going on around them. They notice a man who looks old and tired in the middle of a group of people. Eventually, Beatrice sees Ivor, a Briton who is the mayor of the town. He tells her that the man they saw, Wistan, is going to take a group of men out to rescue Edwin. Ivor asks Beatrice and Axel to stay at his house instead of going to the inn because the town is so tense. Beatrice, Axel, and Ivor talk about the strange mist that covers the land and makes everyone forget at Ivor's house. Ivor says that he thinks the mist has come because God has forgotten about them. Beatrice soon adds to this idea by saying she thinks God is ashamed of something they did in the past and wants them to forget about it. Ivor leaves the house to wait for Wistan's return so that Beatrice and Axel can sleep. During the night, Edwin is found and brought home, but because he was bitten by an unknown creature, his family turns against him. Ivor tells him to wait until it's safe in a nearby barn. When Axel wakes up, he sees Beatrice is still sleeping and feels a rush of tenderness mixed with an indecipherable sense of sadness. He tries not to think about how sad he feels and waits for Beatrice to wake up. When she wakes up, they pack up their things and leave Ivor's house to get food and get ready to keep traveling. Wistan seems to remember Axel, but neither he nor Axel can remember where they met. Ivor asks Beatrice and Axel, "Would you take Edwin with you? It's not safe for him to stay in the village," while they talk. They agree, and Wistan decides to go on a short trip with them. Beatrice wants to go to a monastery where a famous monk named Father Jonas, who loves medicine, might be able to help her. The group decides to go, so they all leave together. As Beatrice, Axel, Wistan, and Edwin walk along, they run into a group of British soldiers who are watching a bridge they need to cross. Wistan knows there will be trouble because he is a Saxon fighter sent by a Saxon leader to see how well the Saxons and Britons are getting along. He tells Beatrice and Axel to pretend that he is mute and mentally ill, and that Edwin is his brother in order to avoid suspicion. Beatrice and Axel go up to the troops and ask to pass. When they do, the leader, a gray-haired soldier, believes that they are just farmers and lets them pass. Once they are far away from him, Wistan stops acting like a mute and they move on. A short time later, they see a knight taking a break near a tree. Although Wistan resumes acting like a mute at first, he soon recognizes the knight as Sir Gawain, one of King Arthur's brothers and most trusted knights. Sir Gawain and Wistan start talking about the past, although Wistan clearly can't remember all of it. At one point, Wistan tells Sir Gawain to look at Axel and see if he remembers him. Sir Gawain looks surprised, but he says he doesn't know who Axel is. They keep talking until they hear someone coming. It's the knight with the grey hair from before. This time, the knight, who works for Lord Brennus of Britain, comes up to Wistan and they fight. Sir Gawain is asked for help by the grey-haired knight, but Sir Gawain says no, and Wistan easily beats the knight. Sir Gawain agrees to help bury the body, but he and Wistan argue over Wistan's mission of slaying the dragon Kayrig. Sir Gawain says it's his job because King Arthur would have wanted him to do it, but he can't get Wistan to promise not to kill the dragon himself. Sir Gawain goes with the group to the monastery, but soon after they arrive, he leaves. Wistan is suspicious of what's going on there, especially when Beatrice is told she can't see Father Jonas yet. As time passes, they find a device that they fear the monks use to torture people. This is proven when Father Ninian, a quiet monk, sneaks them in to see Father Jonas and they find out that he had been abused. Father Jonas gives Beatrice medicine and makes something to treat Edwin's bite before the group leaves him to rest. Wistan tells Edwin that the monastery's traps for Britons show that it was once a Saxon fortress where there was violence. That night, Father Brian wakes the group up and tells them that forces are looking for them and Wistan everywhere. Wistan is left in a tower while the rest of the group is led to a secret cave. Once they were inside, Father Brian locked the door, and they knew they were stuck. Father Ninian told Sir Gawain about the monster, and Sir Gawain is waiting for them in the caves to protect them. He kills the monster in the caves and gets everyone out, but Edwin goes back to help Wistan. Sir Gawain goes his own way after they escape from the convent, while Axel and Beatrice head in what they think is the direction of their son's village. Sir Gawain tells Axel and Beatrice to go to a river, where they talk a merchant into lending them 2 big baskets so they can float down the river and get to their son's village faster. At this point, Beatrice is very weak, and Axel worries that she won't be able to keep going on the trip. When they stop to help a woman in a boat and are attacked by pixies, Axel's worries get worse. The pixies tell him to leave Beatrice behind. The pixies suggest that Alex wants to do this because there's no cure to save Beatrice, and he will have to take care of her as she gets sicker. Axel, on the other hand, fights off the pixies, gets Beatrice, and gets away from danger. As they walk, they come across a house where 3 kids are living alone. The kids tell Beatrice and Axel that their parents have forgotten about them, and they plan to kill Kayrig with a goat that has eaten enough of a deadly plant that any monster that eats the goat will also die. The children convince Axel and Beatrice to bring the goat up the mountain to give it to Kayrig. Once Kayrig is dead, the mist will lift and everyone's memories will come back. Meanwhile, Edwin has found Wistan, who is injured but alive, and tells Edwin he wants to teach him to be a warrior. Wistan tells Edwin that he has the spirit of both a fighter and a tracker and can lead them to Kayrig. They decide to go together to find and kill her. Wistan tells Edwin on the way that after they finish their task, he should always remember to hate the Britons and that it is their duty to kill all of them, even the women and children. Edwin makes a promise to remember what Wistan said, even though he doesn't understand. Axel and Beatrice meet Sir Gawain on the way up the mountain. He is also going to Kayrig's lair. He says he will kill her and agrees to help Axel, Beatrice, and the goat that has been poisoned get up there. When they get there, they find a giant's mound and decide to tie up the goat and rest for a while. Sir Gawain tells Axel in a whisper that he remembers the past and that he knows Axel made a deal with the Saxons that King Arthur broke, and he criticizes Axel for yelling at King Arthur about the deal. Axel doesn't say anything else besides that he wants to remember his wife. Sir Gawain sees Wistan and Edwin coming and gets ready to fight Wistan. When Wistan and Edwin get there, Edwin has been pulled forward by an unknown force and is tied up next to the goat. Wistan wants to kill Kay-Rig, but Sir Gawain says she should be allowed to live out her life so that Britons and Saxons will continue to forget and be at peace for a little while longer. Wistan doesn't like this idea, so he challenges Sir Gawain to a fight. Sir Gawain is killed by Wistan, who then goes to Kay-Rig and kills her as well. After that, he tells Axel that he knows him from when he was a child and that he made the pact that King Arthur broke. Wistan is starting to feel bad about what he did because people will go to war now that their memories have been brought back. He tells Axel and Beatrice to leave the country as soon as they can. Axel and Beatrice leave Wistan and Edwin with Kay-Rig and continue on their trip. Axel and Beatrice, who is even weaker than before, find safety from a storm and find a boatman, the narrator, who can take them to the island from there. They agree to take the test to see if they can go together now that their memories are coming back. The boatman finds out that Beatrice had an affair in the past and that Axel was very angry about it. Their son left home because he was upset with both of them. Soon after, he died of the plague. When they heard, Axel had told Beatrice that he wouldn't take her to the grave of their boy. The boatman says he can take Beatrice to the island and will come back for Axel, but Axel is suspicious because he remembers what the old woman they met earlier told them about being left behind. Still, Axel makes sure Beatrice is happy in the boat and tells her he loves her before walking back to the shore. The boatman keeps telling Axel to wait as he goes, but Axel just keeps walking away. He has accepted that he and Beatrice won't be living on the island together. Axel may have left because he thought he and Beatrice would never be able to go to the island together, because he was still angry at her for cheating on him in the past, because it was not his time to die and go to the afterlife, or for some other reason.
About the author. Kazuo Ishiguro was born in Nagasaki, Japan, on November 8, 1954. In 1960, when Ishiguro was 5 years old, his family moved to England because his oceanographer father was offered a job at the National Oceanography Center. Even though his parents spoke Japanese at home to keep their culture and history alive, Ishiguro didn't go back to Japan until he was in his 30s. By then, he had earned a Bachelor of Arts in English and Philosophy, a Master of Arts in Creative Writing, and published his first book, A Pale View of Hills. Ishiguro legally became a UK citizen in 1983. Ishiguro's first book came out in 1982. Since then, he has written 6 novels, a book of short stories, 4 scripts, and 5 songs. Ishiguro won the Booker Prize in 1989 for his book The Remains of the Day. In 1995, he was given the Order of the British Empire for his literary work. In 2017, he won the Nobel Prize in Literature, and in 2019, he was made a knight for his contributions to literature. He now lives in London, England, with his wife Lorna and their daughter Naomi.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.